What's up everyone, I'm VCi Gaming and welcome to episode 5 of my Oxygen Not Included playthrough for the agricultural upgrade. And I have a very powerful idea. No pun intended, that idea is power. This is going to be a fun episode. Here's just another quick example of how dumb the Duplicants can actually be. I just ordered them to build this platform here. Alright, so I really can't tell what Ren is actually doing here. Well, now both of them. Alright, real quick before we start building, I just want to show you the changes I made since the last episode offline. I basically dug out the rest of this stuff up here, as well as down here. A big change, as I've also added another electrolyzer here. We were kind of running out of oxygen. I didn't want to suffocate my colony before episode 5. That would not be cool. So I added another one in. I also moved this liquid pump down here because I dug out this and then the water kind of moved down. But that's not really that important. As far as in the base, what I've done is I've replaced the regular platforms in here with mesh tiles. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that this is not worth it, it's kind of a waste of resources, but I'll tell you what, it only cost me 20,000 copper ore that I wasn't going to use anyway right here, and it allows a pretty good airflow for all this hydrogen to pool up here and all this oxygen to kind of be around the base from these two electrolyzers. And in my opinion, it actually helps with the electrolyzer not becoming overpressurized as often. So with that being said, let's get into the, building some of these power stations. I think up here we're going to start with a little bit of a hydrogen power plant just to kind of get this out of here and let the oxygen kind of take over the base. Now honestly, I'm kind of wondering if I put the hydrogen generator here because hydrogen goes up to the left. You know what? Nah, I'm just going to put it at the highest point here. So let's start off with the gas pump. I'm going to make this out of any material, I guess copper because I have the most of it here. It doesn't really matter right now. When we get into more elaborate power stations and bigger ones, then temperature might become a problem. But for right now, I'm kind of just putting this in to get rid of all this hydrogen and stuff because it's really kind of a pain in the butt. Do I need a filter up here is the question. It would be safer to have one, but you know what? I think I'm just not going to do it. I could kind of turn this circuit off when I don't want it to be on in as far as that's concerned. Am I gonna put batteries? Yeah, you know what, I don't think I'm gonna. I just really want this to get out all that nasty hydrogen at the top of the base. So I'll tell you what, I did end up going with a filter here. Let me tell you why real quick. This thing makes 800 watts and there's going to be nothing else on this circuit but whatever's here. So at first this was only this gas pump which is 240 watts, so I figured why not just put a filter here. This isn't going to be a permanent power station, it's kind of just here to get rid of this hydrogen, and for now it's going to put the oxygen here. Now next thing we're going to do is get into this natural gas power station. It's going to be one of my modular systems. I'm wondering if I want to put the natural gas power station here or if I want to dig to the left side of the map and put it there. Reason being, I think I'm going to end up putting a big pincher pepper plant farm here, which would be better if it's closer to the base for efficiency reasons. So yeah, I'm going to dig out to the left side of the base here. I'm sorry, the left side of the map, and then kind of go from there. Here's just another quick example of how dumb the Duplicants can actually be. I just ordered them to build this platform here. It ended up entombing Travaldo and pretty much almost suffocating Max and Ren here, so I guess I just have to deconstruct a few of these tiles here to let them out, and then I don't even know if they could survive this. So let's find out, I guess. So let's put all the other priorities here down to 8, and then we'll make this priority 9 stuff. So let's deconstruct this with a priority of 9. And I guess these as well, so they can kind of jump up here, right? That's the idea. Let's see if it works. There we go. Oh, and Travaldo, who has his head stuck in there. Oh my god. There we go. That worked. Alright, so I already kind of see that this area right here is not going to work as I intended it to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, these 2 toilets and this organic storage, and I'm going to put it over here. Alright guys, so something really cool just happened. As I was digging across through here, we found a natural gas geyser. Now this never happens to me because it's actually in a good spot. Usually, let me tell you what I mean by good spot. Usually this thing will be in the middle of one of my platforms. Here it's actually ended, this ladder right here, it's actually at the end of one of the platforms. This is in a perfect spot to kind of enclose, and I think it's pretty close to the end of the map. Yeah, here's Neutronium, so it is at the end of the map, so digging to the left side of the map was probably the best thing I've done so far, and this is really going to help with the size of the natural gas power plant that we're going to make and what we can do with it as well, and that's just awesome that we actually found that. I'm excited. Alright, so I finished my underwater storage for our organics. I put it under polluted water. Now I know this isn't a whole bunch of storage, but it's enough for what we're going to do as far as building this natural gas power station. I've also put air deodorizers here and there throughout this path, and one right here. There's also one here just to take care of all the polluted oxygen that's already in the air, because you can't really sweep it up. You kind of have to deal with it because it's already there. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to enclose this. Now this isn't going to be permanent, but I do feel that it's worth extracting the power that we do have out of here while building the big power station. And this will allow us to pretty much free up the dupes that are kind of working on these wheels here and there, and allow them to do other things that are more important for constructing this giant modular power station that we're going to do. Now I did see down here that we have another natural gas geyser, which kind of is telling me that this area here is going to be the power station, that it's not actually worth it to go up, and plus it's polluted waters in our way. So I'm thinking it's time to start digging all this stuff out. Alright, so they are almost done digging down. I am going to go down a little bit further just so I have a place to kind of pool all of this polluted water, and then we'll end up putting all our organics under that. It'll be bigger. Now I just wanted to show you guys really quick, if there was a definition of scary or disgusting you were looking for, it would definitely be this scene. Just listen to it. Oh my god, it's so disgusting. And we have some trench stench. Poor Max here has caught the virus, so I guess it's time to put in our first medical bed. So I'm gonna go to medicine and we'll just put in a medical cot for him. We'll put it in with a priority of 9 so he doesn't get too sick. Now where do I want to put this? You know what? I think right there will be fine. Let's put in 2 just to be safe, and then we'll assign one of those to Max. Alright, so I really can't tell what Ren is actually doing here. Well, now both of them. I don't know what they're actually doing, but hey, you know, hopefully they don't die. Alright, so they've pretty much dug out everything. They're just kind of finishing up the sweep in here. I did cut out a little thing here. This will be for the CO2 scrubber. Now before we build the power plant, I'm really quick just going to put in some more storage, because that was a lot of digging. That took them, I think, like 30 cycles worth of digging right there. Okay, so we're ready to start the power station. Now we're going to start off with just the basics. We have the natural gas geyser enclosed with a pump. This is made out of gold amalgam, so it doesn't overheat. Next we have to go to power. Now each natural gas geyser can do about 2.5 natural gas generators. So for now we'll just plop 2 of these in. Now this is going to need some piping. It doesn't really matter the material in this build, at least. I'm going to pretty much do something like this. I'm not going to meter any of the connections because honestly the system is just not big enough and it really doesn't need it. So we're going to input the natural gas here. Now we're going to output the natural gas on this level here, and we're going to bring this across to over here. Now right in the middle of this room I'm going to put a vent right here. You can make it out of anything. I guess everything here is just going to be gold amalgam as far as its little parts, because eventually this will become very big and then heat will become a factor. The next part of this system we need is going to be an air scrubber. I will make this out of gold amalgam because it does tend to get kind of hot. I'll put this here. Now air scrubber here is actually going to need some clean water, and it's going to make polluted water. So we only have one clean water system, and that's right here. So I'm just going to kind of bring this pipe. Now I know if I went for a geyser right away it would be better, but you know what, I'm just going to do this for video's sake. I'm just going to lay this pipe, lay the pipe. It's going to lay this pipe just like this, and kind of bring it right to its input here. Now that little bit of water, this doesn't use too much water, so the little bit of water that we do have over there is fine. Now this outputs polluted water, which I guess I can just kind of bring here, and I'll bring it down this way, right here, and then I'll kind of just put a vent here. Okay, so they've put in these components. The pipe is now complete. We have the proper water going in and out of this CO2 scrubber. The next thing we kind of got to do is put in electricity. Now with the first bit of this, I call it the critical systems, you need to basically do this in a specific way. So we're going to get a power transformer. Now this is going to be made out of gold amalgam because eventually it will get really hot here. We're going to place it right here next to these natural gas generators, and then we're going to take big batteries also made of gold amalgam, and we're going to put in, I guess we could put in 4, why not? Next, with the heavy watt wire, we're going to want to attach 2 generators to the transformer, not to the batteries. Now this is because we don't want these systems to be on the normal circuit. We want them to have their own circuit, so that they'll always be able to pull out electricity out of this circuit and the rest of the system can't. Now the reason for this is we always want this pump to be working, so as long as this pump has power, it will always have the potential to put natural gas into here to kind of reboot the system. And you know what, I'm kind of looking at this and I actually hooked these in wrong. I'm such a noob. Yeah, so this has started to work. If we look at our reports, it'll kind of show that we're making kilojoules net now, which is really good. Alright, so we pretty much have our natural gas power station done. This is just the beginning, guys. Don't be disappointed if you expected something different. We will be scaling it to that thing that you're thinking of, and we are going to be doing it in the following couple episodes. Now, other than that, we are also going to be scaling up our seaweed farm so I can bring in more dupes. This is 20 here. I'm thinking maybe 100 or 150 will be a good number for the following couple episodes. So that being said, if you have anything to add, please feel free to do so in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you feel it is worthy of your subscription, I thank you for the support, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Peace.